This is an animated supplement for Chapter 22, East Cemetery Hill, from the book Our Fathers at Gettysburg by Kunkel. Although there was heavy fighting to the south and also to the east at Culp's Hill, Cemetery Hill had remained fairly quiet throughout the day. However, around 4 o'clock, the Confederates furiously bombarded the hill, and the Federals responded in an artillery duel that lasted possibly an hour or longer. The only significant infantry movement was that Brigade Commander Harris shifted the 75th Ohio from its current position over to the right to better connect with von Gilsa's brigade. This in turn weakened the section of line which the 75th Ohio had vacated. Also, 2 Federal regiments, the 41st New York and 33rd Massachusetts, were sent out into Culp's Meadow to protect the Federals' right flank, given all the fighting then going on Culp's Hill itself. East Cemetery Hill was loaded with Federal cannon, and they had had the entire day to sight in the fields to their front. Near dusk, the Confederates here launched their attack. The general plan was that 2 brigades, Hayes and Avery, would attack from the north, while at the same time Rhodes' division would circle around to the west and attack Cemetery Hill from that direction. Hayes and Avery advanced. Both immediately came under blistering cannon fire. Avery got the worst of it since he had the farthest to go. As he got about midway into Culp's Meadow, he faced his 3 regiments right and drove straight south. 9 Federal infantry regiments defended the hill from along a road at its base. In hand-to-hand fighting, Hayes' brigade manages to break through the weak point in the Federal line where Harris had moved the 75th Ohio, and many Louisianans poured up the hill in the near darkness as they swarmed the Federal artillery. On Avery's side of the line, Avery was soon mortally wounded, but Avery's men fought on. 2 of the regiments in von Gilsa's line, the 54th and 68th New York, quickly broke and fled back up the hill, leaving an opening for many of Avery's men to charge up the hill where they joined Hayes' men. Now was the time for Rhodes' 3 brigades to come charging up the western side of Cemetery Hill. Now in near darkness, elements of Hayes and Avery's units broke into the Federal batteries on the east side of the hill. In vicious hand-to-hand fighting, they finally drove off the cannoneers. They had done their part. Now they waited for Rhodes to come to their aid. But Rhodes never came. Still a new and somewhat inexperienced division commander, Rhodes was slow getting his men off the mark and marching them through the town of Gettysburg into an attack position. By the time he was ready to attack, the main attack was over. The Federals had massive amounts of reinforcements available on Cemetery Ridge, and it didn't take them long to put them to use. And like angry bees, Federal reinforcements poured into the breach in their line. With no reinforcements, Hayes and Avery's men on the hill could no longer hold the batteries, and they were forced to retreat. Their sacrifice and gallant attack wasted. East Cemetery Hill remained Union. For much more on this battle, including descriptions by the soldiers involved, as well as photos, illustrations, and Google links to the actual battlefield locations, please refer to this book,